Yes. This one, hey, been up since 4:30.
We will call the Common Council back to order. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll to determine a quorum.
Alderperson Probst. Here. Ranke. Rote.
Here.
Singstack.
Here.
Vitale.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Barzak.
Here.
Chaplesky.
Here.
Lysick.
Here.
Me.
Here.
10 present, none excused.
We have a quorum. We will start with our Administration and Finance Committee. Alderman Singh.
Mayor Devine. Mayor Devine calling the council's attention to items 6, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, resolutions, ordinances, or communications. Position of the committee is to pass the ordinance, adopt the resolutions, and to place the communications on file with approval. Having said that, Mayor Devine, move approval.
Second.
We have a motion with a second by Alderman Vitale. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Probst. Aye. Ranke. Aye. Rote.
Aye.
Singstack.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Barzak.
Aye.
Chaplesky.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
Me.
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Carries.
That is all, Mayor Devine.
Thank you, Alderman. Next, we will have the Public Works Committee. Mayor Devine. Alderman Barzak.
I would like to look at items number 29 through 43 with the exception of item number 35. All have been ordinances, resolutions, or communications to be approved or to place on file. They've all been approved by the committee. I move for adoption of the committee's report.
Second.
There is a motion with a second by Alderman Reinke. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Alderman Vitale.
on the item 28, in regard the...
Mayor Devine, point of information, we're not taking up number 28 yet.
Oh, you're not?
No, 28 is in license and health.
We started with 29.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
It's all right. We'll be ready
Thank
for
you,
you.
Mayor.
All right. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Probst.
Aye.
Ranke. Aye. Rote.
Aye.
Singstack.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Barzak.
Aye.
Chaplesky.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
Me.
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Motion carries.
Mayor Devine, that is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Barzak. Next, we have Safety and Development, Alderman Lysick.
Mayor Devine. I refer you to items 44 through 48 and 53 and 54 on your agendas. Various resolutions, communications, and ordinances acted upon favorably by all members of the committee. Move for adoption of the committee report on those items.
Second.
There is a motion with a second by Alderman Weigel. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Probst.
Aye.
Ranke. Aye. Rote.
Aye.
Singstack.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Barzak.
Aye.
Chaplesky.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
Me.
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Motion carries.
I then refer you to item 55 on your agenda. This is an ordinance to amend the community C3 Community Commercial District to permit indoor auto sales as a special use. Acted upon favorably by 4 members of the committee. I move for adoption of the committee report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Alderman Vitale. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Probst.
Aye.
Ranke.
No.
Rote.
Aye.
Singstack. Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Barzak.
Aye.
Chaplesky.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
Me.
Aye.
9 in favor, 1 opposed.
Motion carries.
That's all, Mayor Devine.
Thank you, Alderman Lysick. Next, we have License and Health, Alderman Chaplesky.
Mayor Devine.
I'd like to report on items number 16, 57 through 59, 64 through 67, 72 through 78 on tonight's agenda. These are various license reports. They were voted for either approval approval and place on file, or approval subject to necessary requirements by all 5 members. I'd like to move for this portion of the committee's report.
Second.
There is a motion with a second by Alderman Probst. Is there any discussion?
Mayor Devine,
Alderman May?
on the motion to reconsider, are we changing anything from what we
Yes.
decided last time?
Yes, we are. What it was a license that revoked mainly because she owed property taxes. She has now paid that all up, so we voted to change our vote.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, this is a voice vote.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, then we have item number 28. This was joint referral. Let's see. This was for the License and Health and Public Works. Both committees voted 5-0 in favor. I'd like to move for the... I'm sorry, it was to place on file. I'd like to move for the adoption of the committee's report.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Alderman Vitale.
what we're facing with, it seemed like, within our community, it happens, 29 years ago, when I purchased my city card, and it's been so effective all those years. Now today, we have nearly 80% of the residents of West Allis, they do own a city-owned garbage cart. So it's been something that already has been working for the health and welfare of the community. So now it is about between absentee landlord and residents, about 20%. The questions it is not anything that we have to place up front, but I believe in time would have been a cost savings in regard, it could be an injury. It happens many times when a garbage man go on a route during the winter months. Some of those garbage cans have no lids on it. The guys that lift it up, and that's not easy. I mean, they could damage their backs. So the fact is, where we really by placing this on fire, I understand maybe there is some the questions. Who's going to how are we going to implement this program? How is going to be done? My ordinance, I believe it could be a worth decisions for this council to move ahead for the future, to try to eliminate the questions. Is not just the east end, the middle of the city, or the south end, or the west end. The questions it is the entire issue is for the entire city that we're facing with. So to me, I mean, at this point, I understand maybe there is some concern about the public works and license and health they have in regard to move forward with this. But the question is, in today's cost, when somebody goes out there and purchases a garbage can for $20, a plastic garbage container, or even a metal one for $20, $25, and we can provide one, the 60 gallons for around $35, and the 90 gallons for $45, it's not going to kill anybody or break anybody's pockets based on their lifestyle or conditions of people, maybe the reasons of maybe because they have no jobs. Really. I mean, to me, it's something that's a concern, not just for the East End, but for the entire community. And to me, I tried to introduce this ordinance before, and it seemed like I kind of hold back. Now it came to the committee again, and it seemed we placed on file. But I would like to find out the reasons, many reasons why we placed this on file. That's the issue here now. I mean, you just put something on file because for the sake of putting on files. I mean, I want to find out the reason why. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Chaplesky.
Let's see. Vince I have a city garbage can. I think they're great. I think everyone should have one. But as you just stated, someone who is unemployed, doesn't have a job, $40 is a lot of money to them. And to force them to do this, I just can't do it. Yes, we have a problem, but we have an ordinance to take care of that problem, that if they're slobs and they don't take care of their garbage, well, then they got to buy one. But I just think that to take away that freedom from someone if they want to buy a garbage can, instead of forcing them to buy this garbage can, and obviously it was 10-0, so
Mr.
10
Mayor,
people voted for it.
the same person we talk about an employee. I mean, he can go out and spend $40 on cigarettes, or probably goes out and spend $40 on whatever. I mean, that's his rights. To me, it's unrealistic to use that terminology of the person being unemployed not be able to buy the car. Thank you.
Using your term. Go ahead.
That's unrealistic.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other discussion?
Mayor Devine.
Alderman May.
Vince, I would just ask, if the distinguished colleague from District 1 would please come to me and tell me how I sell this to a resident in the 3rd District as to what the benefit they receive for getting this garbage can. It seems to be working fine the way it is. If you're saying we're going to save money and we're going to save on these different things, show me the money, and I can't go to a person on 97th and or 98th in Mitchell, or sorry, 96th in Mitchell, and sell them on the idea that they have to buy a garbage can when the one they have is perfectly fine the way it is. You're asking for the reason. Show me the reason is what I'm asking. And maybe not tonight, but at some point in the future, give me some documentation and sell me into why and how I sell a person in the 3rd District why this is a good idea.
Well,
thank you, Mayor Devine.
Thank you,
Mr.
Alderman May. Are there any objections
earlier you
to
said-
Alderman
earlier,
Vitale's
Mr.
speech?
Mayor.
Excuse me, Alderman. Are there objections to a third point of discussion on this topic? Carry on.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Early, you addressed the fact because people can say on the East End, because there's been a problem with rodents, that's the reason that we should probably have it just on the East End. Well, to me, like I said, it should be a citywide implementation, not just on the East End. To me, it's, what is it? I mean, people on the 3rd District, there's better people living out there? I mean, that's the issue here? To me, it's not the issue here. The issue here is that it's a good program for the community. I mean, the question of cost is going to be a saving cost in time. It will be a savings cost.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other discussion? Okay. Where were we? Place on file, I believe, is the motion?
Correct.
Okay. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Probst. Aye. Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Singstek.
Aye.
Vitale.
No.
Weigel.
Aye.
Barzak.
Aye.
Chapletsky.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
9 in favor, 1 opposed.
Motion carries. Thank you, Alderman Chapletsky. Lastly, we have the Advisory Committee. Alderman Ranky.
Mayor Devine. I direct the council's attention to items number 79, 80, and 81 on tonight's agenda. All are reappointments favorably approved by the committee. I move for their approval. Mayor Devine.
Second.
There is a motion with a second by Alderman Probst. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Probst.
Aye.
Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Singstek.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Barzak.
Aye.
Chapletsky.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Motion carries.
That is all, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman Ranky. I have one quick announcement before we adjourn. I just want to, for those of you that don't know, congratulate Assistant Chief Steve Bain. He was given an offer to be the next fire chief this evening at the Police and Fire Commission meeting, pending his background check, which I assume he will pass, and a few other things, but he was granted an offer by the commission this evening.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Sengstock?
if you take a look at the length of the meeting this evening and the agenda, going back to the early days in the Common Council, believe me, this goes back quite a few years ago. We would start early in the evening, and it was the norm for our council meetings to go until 10:30, 11:30, every council meeting. In fact, I think we had bottles of Geritol here, for those who remember what Geritol was, to keep us awake. And for an energy drink kept us going. But our city clerk at that time had to read every item on the agenda. So as the meetings started, Phil Elliott, our city clerk, everything on the agenda had to be read. And then after the recess, once again, they have to read it. Everything had to be reread. Took us just hours and hours of just, and God bless him. He was a great city clerk, but I had to give the man a lot of credit for just hours and hours of dialogue.
I've seen it or heard about it.
Been struggling with a decision over the last 6 months, and that really it involves my status on the Common Council, and I really have a conflict in terms of the calendar that the council has, and the conflict that my personal family has, and other activities I'm involved with. And quite frankly, out of fairness, I think it's only appropriate that I announce at this time my resignation from the Common Council in the 5th District, effective November 30th, 2013. I intend to have more comments 2 weeks from this evening, given the lateness of this evening. But to tell you, a lot of stress involved, especially when you've been around for as long as I have. You just have a passion, a love for your city, and you know that truly what we all do in council, we know it's right, and we have our energy and our attention focused on what's in the city's best interest. But it got to the point, and this is true, that I actually had to get a shingle shot. When you get a shingle shot because of the stress that I was really experiencing, and I got to tell you another one, and I mentioned this to Alderman Lysick a couple of months ago. I actually woke up and I'm having a dream, and I woke up, I'm sleeping, I'm by myself, and the Common Council has adjourned, and I'm sitting by myself, and other than for the fact all of us and someone from the city clerk's office came over and was sitting there waiting for me, until I would wake up, and she had said that the meeting has been over, and they just didn't want to wake me and shock me, given my age at the time. And this is true. I woke up in the morning. That's what my dream was all about. So that was kind of maybe giving a little heads up in terms of how my experiences were. That's true. I told Alderman Lysick that week, this is what's happening in my life. But truly, it's been 41 and a half years of just great fun, and I'm going to say a number of comments next 2 weeks from tonight in terms of my departing. I'm never going to depart from the city. As we know, I'm still involved with it. Businesses here. But I have a family out in Omaha with grandsons that are involved in many different activities. Too much conflict with not being able to go to their activities. And I have other grandchildren from my other son and my daughter in the Milwaukee area that need my attention. And certainly a grandfather wishes to participate in their lives. So that's it, and I'll make further comments 2 weeks from this evening.
Thank you, Alderman Sangstad.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysick.
Hard to follow that. I move that we adjourn until our next regularly scheduled meeting at 7 p.m. on November 19th.
Second.
There's a motion and a second by Alderman Reinke. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.